7. Hurts lofts it for Smith. It's a touchdown. Next year. He's been locked in so far. Wants it all and has Brown. One play to get in the end zone.
As you guys can see, I'm in a different location. I'll talk about that at the end. So let's get into this. Let's get into this football. So Mahomes was 28 for 42, 352 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. McKinney had a good day. It was really on just one crazy play. I'm sure I've shown at the beginning. 7 receptions, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also apologize for how it sounds. I'm sure it sounds a little worse than usual. They won, yay, but you was in a dogfight with the Denver Broncos and you played your D game. You should have lost. Like, to be for real. Granted, you were up 27-0, and I don't know what, I think they got up 27-0, and then they were like, okay, well, we're good now. They're just gonna go away. And luckily, Russell Wilson and the crew is not really good. So they were able to pretty much coast through the end. Now, there were some ups and downs here and there, right? It started how you expected. It was 27-0. This was actually one of Russ's better games of the year. He was 23 for 36, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns and an interception. When Russ is a runner, he's elite. When he's not a runner, he's not elite. So I don't know why Russ doesn't run more. Because when he runs he's elite. I don't know. He has this thing where he doesn't want to run no more. Now, this injury that he sustained, the concussion, that's gonna make him not want to run even more. You know what I mean? But he played well. Didn't play well enough to win, but he played well. But the reason they even got back in the game was a combination of Jerry Jeudy turning into Jerry Rice and bad defense by Kansas City. Now, I think Kansas City thought the game was over. Now, they ended up winning, but they only scored like 7 points in the second half. And Denver actually, I saw flashes of the offense that they should have had. Ultimately, Kansas City rolled into a win. They should not be happy with this win at all. Speaking of somebody who should not be happy about the win at all is Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Dak was 24 for 39, 284 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Dallas will always let you down, whether it's they play to their competition or they lose. Now, granted, today they just played down to their competition, but they just of rightly could have lost this game. You going into halftime, let me check my notes here. You went into halftime 20-17 against the worst team in football and had them believing that they could win the game up until like a minute left probably less than a minute in the fourth quarter. That cannot happen. That gets you blown out in the playoffs. Even if you play Brady. If they play Brady in the playoffs, I'm probably just going to pick them. I'm probably just going to pick Brady, honestly. Yeah, I'm very disappointed in Dallas. And I'm really disappointed in Dak. Dak missed some easy throws. I'm like, Dak, what are you doing? Offense, this game was, I think it was final score was 27-20, but it was a very bad offensive game. It might have looked like, high, it might have been a little high scoring, blah, 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 but it was not a good offensive game at all. That's typically how Texans games are, but when they play in Dallas, I expect Dallas to put up 43 points and for Dak not to be playing in the fourth quarter. Not leading a game-winning drive against the worst team in football, which was the best drive of the night or best drive of the day. And if he would have played like that the whole game, they would be in this situation. That's Dallas for you. But I think we see that Dallas is not going anywhere. Now, granted, it could just be one Sunday I'm crazy because they scored 33 points in a quarter last Sunday. But it's the soap opera known as the Dallas Cowboys. So I guess speaking of the NFC East, I'm be completely honest with you guys. I did not watch the Eagles game because by the time I got to it, it was already out of hand. 48-22. It was never actually even that close, to be honest with you. Our guy Jalen is in rare MVP form. 21 for 31, 217 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he didn't do. Obviously, I watched the highlights, but Miles Sanders had himself a day. Some big time runs. 17 carries, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't have AJ Brown's numbers next to me, but I'm sure he balled out. And yeah, that's really all I can say. I don't think the Giants are going to make the playoffs either, especially after this. And speaking of making the playoffs and all that, let's talk about the Super Bowl winners last year. Shout out to Baker Mayfield. I always want to talk mad craziness about Baker Mayfield, but he played ball Thursday. Shout out to him. He's definitely going to be in the league. He's definitely being worked his way into another contract just based off that alone. And if he's going to be with Sean McVay, who knows? Especially with the injury that Matt Stafford sustained. Who knows? That might be that guy in the future. Yeah. So I'm gonna go through quickly. Go quickly of the next two, and then we're gonna round it out with Deshaun. So Tyler Huntley was 8 for 12, 88 yards. He ended up getting a concussion and leaving the game. Brown came in. I think his first name is Anthony Brown. Didn't do much of anything. They didn't do much of anything on offense, and they haven't done much of anything on offense since Lamar went out. Pay that man. They ended up winning off field goals. Justin Tuck ended up becoming the all-time leading scorer in Baltimore's history. Geno Smith, 21 for 36, 264 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 very critical. Just what are you looking at Geno interception? The Geno that played today in the first half is the Geno that we saw for over a decade. So, and with our guys in Seattle, is this who they really are? Is what the early in the season's what they are? Or is this what they are? Because they have not looked good the last 2 weeks. 30 points to Sam Darnold. Like, that's not good. That's just like Dallas giving up 24 points to Davis Mills and the other guys. That's not good. That's not good at all. Now, nobody really had them as title contenders, but it was a good story. But it just looks like they're coming back down to earth now. And so the final game that of the week. Well, not final game because we gotta watch Arizona, but that link will be up here. I did a separate video about that because it was. What's going on, guys? This was supposed to be where I put the link to the Kyler Murray video, but unfortunately, Kyler Murray tore his ACL. I think it's tore his ACL. The report will be up on the screen. So he will be out for the rest of the season. And rough end to a rough season by Kyler Murray. Wishing Kyler Murray a speedy recovery. Let's get back to the video. It was a Monday night game. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was 26 for 42, a touchdown and an interception. It looks like Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to be his favorite receiver. 144 receiving yards for Peoples-Jones today. Cincinnati's a really good football team. This is what really good football teams do. They're not good football teams. You can obviously tell that Deshaun is getting his footing because this game is worlds better than that what he did last week. And I had some expectations of Cleveland, but I'm wrong. I was wrong. I was definitely wrong about Cleveland. But I do think they can go beat Baltimore. I do think they can beat Baltimore because they'll have the best talent on the field. I think at all times, honestly. And I think they can go beat Baltimore. So they get Deshaun to get his first win in his belt. But he looked not really good. That would be lying. But he looked like an NFL quarterback today. Now he just needs to take that step and look like an elite NFL quarterback. Because like I've been saying before, he was a top 5 guy before he left. So yeah. But I'm sorry, guys, if you feel like I'm rushing you a little bit. I wanted to get this video out to you. You know, I don't miss weeks, but you guys can tell I've got some other stuff going on. And since you're at the end of the video, I might as well tell y'all what's going on. I have moved out. I am on my own now. Expect to upgrade. See, that's why this is the end of the video. Expect upgrades to the stuff, and yeah. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting me, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. I gotta get a little bit, y'all.